Oh, we've got a good one right now, Kelly. We've got the new 2025 4Runner, and you just cracked the door on this thing.
That's what I do. I always come up and I just push buttons.
So let's push this button and walk around this thing real quickly. All right, as you can see right now, TRD Pro. This is the TRD Pro version of this vehicle, and I've been excited to see this one in person because, well, we've told you guys, this one's on the bucket list to own, and the TRD version, this thing looks pretty off-road fun. And I have to admit, sometimes photos make things look better than they are, and sometimes they don't, and this one here is freaking perfect. I love the massive, and I mean massive, look at my hand. Those are massive fenders to push the wheels out. Of course, you got these TRD Pro wheels on this thing, sporting the Toyo tires open country, and ready to be lifted. We'll say that. They need a little bit bigger tire on this, but this color, this tan kind of khaki-ish color, I don't know the official color of it right now, but looks great, and I love all the little attention to details on this thing. Toyota badging, I love the old school badging, getting all the rigid light bars on this thing, and of course, it's ready to go because guess what? TRD Pro suspension under this thing. That is right. And so maybe we jack it up just a little bit more. I don't know. But this is a prototype, so let's keep that in mind. But this is what it's going to look like. All right, Kelly. So you just pushing all the buttons, girl. And from the get-go, would we own this vehicle right off? And she's not looked at anything other than the back of this thing. What do you think?
I haven't looked at anything else, and knowing the capability of the 4Runner and that it's getting a refresh, I would say yes. So, but let's look at it and see if I still stand by that statement.
Right. And something you're getting here, of course, the big screen in this thing, and I like in the Lexus version, I do like how they kind of blend the screens in a little bit better. You know, I've been hit or miss with the Toyota badging on the side there, but I love everything. All the color choices they've done, all the aggressive look to this TRD badging. We you know, if you've seen the Tacoma, you've seen a little bit of this truck. And looks great. Of course, you know, Toyota, they got all the powerful buttons like this, but your butt's going to be sitting on some seats. It looks like they're ventilated, so that's pretty nice. Very bolstered on the side, so that's pretty exciting. But remember, this is our first look at this truck in person. Ultimately, this thing, body on frame SUV, Kelly, brings back some memories of some of the older ones we've had.
It does definitely bring back some memories of them, and from what I remember, the seats being very comfortable, and I feel like these might be following in those footsteps.
Yes, but as you can see up here, you got all the little switches for your hatch, and the feature Kelly loves the most is, I don't know if it'll work right now, but the back window does roll all the way down in this one. And she always loved that about Toyotas.
That actually sold me on a Sequoia that I was not even interested in 15 years ago.
But you can see kind of that kind of faux carbon fiber look to this thing all the way through. Once again, Kelly, did time in the Tacoma, so this is very familiar from this point of it. But the seats, I love the digital seats of this thing. I like kind of, it's muted a little bit. It's not overpowering, so you can't really see the digital print there, but when you're directly into it, you can kind of see it. Big cup holders, all the drive modes, all the shifties. You're getting some wireless charging in that. But the back seat of this thing, look at that. We get cup holders. They were smart enough to include those from the get-go. Sunroof, all this, but really the powerful statement about this vehicle is the outside appearance of this thing. And once again, this is a prototype version, so things could change. It's probably not going to. Things could change, but this thing in person, I have to say, they've taken the 4Runner. It looks so much more aggressive, and in person, Kelly, this thing looks super aggressive.
This is actually my first shot of the front. I haven't seen it before.
Yes.
And so I'm actually quite impressed with the aggressiveness of it. I generally don't like a little split in the middle, but I actually like the way that it's done because I feel like it breaks up that big front end that we see in the Tundra. So I appreciate that, you're kind of dulling that down.
And for my off-roader friends, as you can see here, they've definitely thought about rock crawling a little bit, and you're getting all the areas open for those tires to be exposed to the rocks or whatever you need to crawl over. They've definitely thought about that a little bit. Of course, this is a Pro version, so this should be the most capable. Of course, it's going to have the new 4-cylinder in it. It's a hybrid setup in this, so you get all the horsepowers and maybe a little bit better fuel economy. But the black to the kind of khaki-ish brown, that looks great. These wheels and tires, normally I do not like factory tires. Generally I don't like it, but they look just aggressive enough that you don't feel like you would have to right away change those. I mean, we're BFG people. We would change those.
BFG people, we're going to typically change them, but I think you could get down a trail successfully and back off.
Yes, and open country, the Toyo tires is a good tire. Now let's go to the back of this thing, because this is where Mama Bear, she always, it's going to be an off-road vehicle, but you got to use it. We got to do shopping things and all that, right?
It's going to be a mom wagon too, so let's be honest.
Yes.
So for one, you've got your buttons just like you typically do on your 4Runner and your Sequoias, and
Ooh, what's that? Oh yes, I will take that in a heartbeat.
100%.
100%. One thing though, right from the get-go, this gloss down here, guess what's going to show wear and tear really quickly?
Guess what's not going to be gloss for long?
Yes, because your body's going to hit it when you're trying to get out of things, keys, whatever. I have a feeling, they may not, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that's going to scratch it up. But look at the space of this. So the battery pack's back here.
Yeah.
This is kind of Toyota. We've seen it in the Sequoia.
Yeah.
We kind of knew this was coming, but
this does also open, so they're taking advantage of the small pockets of area that they can work around.
Right. And they understand. They're trying to give you all the little spaces. It's almost like they thought of a third row back here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely like a cup holder back there. But yes, like Kelly said, you're getting a little bit of nooks and crannies in this. Yes, this, as you can see the size of my hand, that's a lot of cargo space you're losing. But at the end of the day, I could be wrong, but I've never filled anything all the way to the top. Maybe we've had something one time, but the odds of you needing all of that space are probably pretty slim. But ultimately, Kelly, this thing looks, it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it definitely is better than I thought it was going to be too. Again, as we were seeing in the Tundra, we're seeing that big front end, and I was really nervous how they were going to work that in to the new 4Runner.
Right.
And I'm excited to see the front end because you still pay homage to the previous generation, but you absolutely see the updates on this one.
Yeah, and one of the pluses this thing is it's evolutionary, not revolutionary.
Yes.
So it definitely, if you own the last version, you're not going to feel out of touch with this vehicle. Definitely, they've taken the interior, made it much more modern, and they've also, the seating position of this thing's way better than the old versions used to be. So I'm pretty excited by this vehicle. Of course, this is just a quick look. Hopefully, Toyota invites us to the press drive of this vehicle. Do we get to own one of these things? That was on our list to own. So Kelly, as of right now, just this quick 10-minute look you've seen, would you own this vehicle? Would we buy this vehicle as our next press?
Quick 10-minute look, I would say yes.
Yeah, it looks fun, and I can't. We've driven the latest and greatest from Toyota, so I can't imagine it drives like garbage. So I'm pretty excited to maybe do a long-term review on one of these things. So whether it be two-wheel drive,
four-wheel drive,
or this bad mother effing 4Runner, and I mean that I'm going to drive. We're going to drive this.
We are.
Hey, where's the keys?
I think they're hidden.
This has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd.
I'm your host, Kelly Boyd.
And we're out. Peace.
See ya.